Hello, folks. Welcome to our teamwork and collaboration unit. So, the competency that we're going to be addressing in this unit is working effectively and respectfully in diverse teams and collaborating to achieve group goals. Our first lesson today, we're going to get in it to win it. We're going to be talking about inclusive teamwork. So, our objective in this lesson is that by the end of this lesson, you'll be able to respect others' cultural identities and be able to set aside differences and work together as a team. We are going to start our lesson talking about cultural identity. So I'm going to break down those two words. We're going to start with culture first. So, culture is a way of life, everything that is learned, and it includes behaviors and beliefs. So, you can see we have a picture of a big giant iceberg. You only see a little part of the iceberg sticking above the surface. When we relate that to culture, those are the aspects of culture that other people can see. So, things like food, gender, language, etc. But there's so much more to culture because there's a lot underneath the water. Things like traditions, perceptions, values, thoughts, and more. So now that we have culture, let's talk about identity. Identity is what makes each person unique, and it's based on the groups that they're a part of. Now, like the cronut, we are going to combine those two words and watch the magic happen. Cultural identity. These are the groups that we are a part of. That is an aspect, an important aspect of who we are and how we define ourselves. So in this presentation, I'm going to be covering the biggest groups that we all tend to be a part of so that we can then define our own cultural identity. That's what we're going to be doing for the practice task. Race. These are our physical characteristics, and they refer to things like skin color, hair texture, and facial features. So I want to recognize that race is usually used to categorize people. For example, our government. When you fill out document forms, there's a section called race. You'll see those options would be things like white, black, Pacific Islander, Asian. Nationality is the country that you have citizenship in. American, Canadian, Swedish, Wakandan. Now we have ethnicity. This one gets confusing. So these are people who have a shared history, whether or not they reside in the same country. So sometimes it has to do with physical features or race, but not always. So it can be related to religion, race, nationality, ancestry, or language. So for a main example, Quebecois. So Quebecois are people who are from Quebec and Canada and generally have speak French and have a French background. But there's a large population of them that live in Maine and speak French. So that would be an example of an ethnicity. Social class. These are people who are grouped in society who have similar economic status, meaning they make a similar amount of money, they have similar education, and similar job types. So in the US, some common ones that you'll see are things like underclass, working class, middle class, and upper class. Okay, now we have gender and sex. This gets confused quite a bit as well. So I'm going to start with gender. These are the feelings and behaviors that a culture associates with a person's sex. Interestingly, it can vary by country. And then we have sex. These are biological attributes. So traditionally, you would see male and female. Sexual orientation. This one's easy. It's what gender you're attracted to. Now we have region. This is where in the world your group is from. Are you a New Englander? From the South, East Coast? Are you African, Eastern European, etc.? The last cultural identity group I'm going to talk about today is disability. And this is newly identified. These are people who have a condition that makes it hard to interact with the world. It could be physical, but it could be cognitive, behavioral, any type of disability. Our goal in class, in the school, and in the workplace is to be inclusive. Now, inclusive does not mean like best friends forever. Inclusive just means that everyone can be a part of the group, contribute, be seen, valued, and feel safe. So the big question is, how do we do that? Well, there's 5 steps. First, respect everyone. Follow the golden rule. If you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. 2, listen actively. Give people the opportunity to express their opinions, just as you would like to express yours. 3, include others. You never know when someone may have a great idea, and you never know how awful it feels when no one will let you be part of their group. 4, use inclusive language. Please don't tell jokes that involve stereotypes. Please make sure that you're being kind. Even if you're joking and tell a bad joke, it doesn't matter. If anyone takes offense, it's going to be an issue. 5, say something. If someone is being disrespectful and not being inclusive, please make sure you say something to them respectively and to an adult. So, one part of inclusion that we have to take a look at as well are stereotypes and how to break them. So, stereotypes we run into everywhere. These are statements about groups of people that are not necessarily true. So, for example, Canadians are polite, Australians are laid back, JMG teachers are amazing. So, when we're talking about stereotypes, I wanted to talk about some of the harmful effects because I get asked this quite a bit. So, by using stereotypes, even if it's a joke, what it does is it highlights a group of people in a negative way. It makes them feel like they are not part of the group, and it causes people to be less successful in the long run. Okay, let's talk about breaking stereotypes. First step, call it out. Hey man, not everyone with this acts that way. Second step, let's focus on our project. Let's redirect it. Third, after the interaction, talk to a trusted adult or involve a friend. Lastly, we need to echo. One person's voice is powerful, but if you notice someone else standing up, please stand up with them and say something because it is so hard to do it on your own. That's it. That's the lesson. So now, please go into the Google Classroom and you will find our practice task for today. Also, there will be video instructions if you need it. There's also written instructions, and it's also available on paper in the box. Have a good one, guys.